Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, super. How are you?
Oh, super-de-duper. Got an exciting guest we're going to be talking to today, wellness expert Dr. David Magnano. Going to be visiting with him later in the program. Also, got a lot of other fun stuff to talk about today. And did you know this? This is something to ease your mind. This is kind of scary, honestly. 3 mice infected with the deadly bubonic plague went missing from a New Jersey biodefense research lab.
No.
Yeah, that's not good. So, put out some mouse traps.
Where at? New Jersey?
Yeah, New Jersey. Just when you thought, nothing worse could happen to the state of New Jersey, they got bubonic plague mice running around. They don't exactly know where they went. But here's my question. Why are we infecting?
Right.
Why are we infecting mice with the bubonic plague? Is there any reason for that? I think maybe they were trying to come up with a cure. Well, you better go into, overtime working on that now.
Oh, my God.
All right, got some better news coming your way here in a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Heidi, this is kind of interesting. Did you know that grizzly bears and polar bears can mate? Their offspring would be referred to as pizzly bears or growler bears.
I
think a pizzly bear sounds pretty cool.
I have nothing to say.
I can't even imagine being mauled by a pizzly bear. What happened to your brother? Oh, he got mauled by a pizzly bear.
don't know why I've never thought about it before, but I don't know why they couldn't mate. Of course they could.
Well, but the scientists have discovered that they can mate and they could have offspring, and they would be pizzlies or growler bears. They don't know which. I just think that's
so dumb.
Hey, let's change the topic here. Sad shoppers spend 300% more than people who are not sad. So if you're going shopping, make sure you're in a good mood. Otherwise, you're going to spend 300% more, according to psychological science. They've revealed that sad shoppers spend more money. So here's what I'm thinking. When people come in, instead of having greeters at the door, they should have people doing insults. Here's what
I want to know. Who can possibly be sad when they're shopping?
Me? I'm not a fan
You
of
walk
shopping.
into a store and it's like, you hear angels right away, and it's
that doesn't happen to me.
wonderful.
For me, it's in, out, done.
No, I love to shop.
All right. We got a fun story coming your way here in a bit on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVWheelator.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVWheelator.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Car dealers will do just about anything to get you to buy a car from them. But offering a free shotgun is not necessarily a good idea, according to some. I think it sounds like a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
A car dealer in Knoxville, Tennessee is giving away a controversial gift when you buy a car. Greg Lumpy Lambert is giving away free vouchers.
I think we talked about this.
For customers to buy a gun. Oh, we did.
We did. But I don't have a problem with it because you're going to have to pass the background check when he's not handing out a gun to every psycho that comes in that wants to buy a car. He's giving you a voucher where you have to go then to have the proper background checks done at the firearms store.
Why is this in the news again, I wonder? Anyway,
because it's an awesome idea.
My wife's packing right now, just so you know. Kids would get a free water pistol as well during that special offer. The Second Amendment gun sale had its share of critics. Greg argues that it's a sportsman's paradise in this area, and the guns, 8mm deer rifles, are intended for hunters. He also notes that people who are not qualified to own guns do not get the voucher.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, gun control advocacy Naomi Payas blasts Advantage Auto Sales gun promotion, saying, if it is possible to further lower the image of a used car salesman, this guy has done it. So, wait a minute. What's wrong with used car salesmen? I mean, that's not a bad thing. I can tell you one.
My dad's a used Charlie. Tuesdays with Charlie. He's a used car salesman.
He sells used cars all the time. It's not a bad thing.
He's the greatest guy on the planet.
So she's apparently biased. She's like, nope, this guy's a bad guy. I don't like guns and I don't like used cars. So where does she buy her cars?
I'm sure she's driving a Prius.
A new car tree. She picks them from there. I'm not exactly sure where they come from. Anyway, sadly, we shared this story in the past. I don't know why it's in the news again. I thought maybe when I get to the end there'd be an update, but I don't see one. But I can tell you this. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. A Colorado couple is finding an unusual topping on their order of tacos. Some marijuana. They discovered the drugs with their order from Del Taco and called police. Lakewood police spokesperson Steve Davis says 26-year-old Dennis Kremland told police that they waited on the husband, and when he picked up the food on October 16th, now they face charges of possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. Initially, this Klenderman dude denied any knowledge, but admitted that the bag was meant for a friend after a search dog found more marijuana in his locker. He no longer works for the Del Taco restaurant. The manager says they left a message for him, and it was not returned, so they don't even know where he went. Now he's gone, so he's like
He was
split.
just trying to spread a little happiness.
Yeah, he was. It was the wrong to-go order. He thought that it was going to somebody else, but apparently more than one person ordered the same order. So that was the big mix-up, and that's the kind of thing that happens when your brain is on drugs.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Now your moment of duh. If you ever worry that you're becoming forgetful, try to remember this German man, and you're not going to feel so bad about yourself. This unnamed man pulled into a gas station and filled up his car. Then he paid the cashier and left. No, he didn't get into his car driveway.
Oh, no.
He walked home.
Oh, no.
After an hour, the attendant notified police, who then contacted the man, who then went back to get his car.
Oh, my goodness.
So he drove to the gas station to get gas. Apparently didn't live too far away. When he got done, he just walked home. The car
and it's
was
probably
parked there.
habit for him to walk there and pick things up from time to time. I'm sure he walked there for milk or whatever. And while he was inside the store, probably picked up something else and just walked home with his purchase.
Gonna walk home.
I can kind of see that.
Leave my car at your gas pump. I've left my gas cap at a gas station. Never the whole car. Never. Not once. All right. We've got your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. For those of you who love bacon and love Pop-Tarts, good news. You don't have to choose what you're going to have for breakfast anymore.
Are you kidding?
No, Pop-Tarts will soon taste like bacon.
Oh, gross.
Kellogg's has announced the debut of 5 crazy new flavors. One is chocolatey caramel. That sounds good. Another one is maple bacon. Honestly, that's not bad. I've had that before. Never in a Pop-Tart. Another flavor is watermelon.
Ew.
And then frosted spring strawberry. And finally, pink lemonade.
Ew.
They'll roll into grocery stores. They'll roll into grocery stores and gradually be there over the next 6 months, starting in mid-December, and they'll be in the clearance aisle.
As I was just going to say, you'll be able to buy them all on clearance. You know what the very best Pop-Tarts are, and you can't even hardly ever find them?
I know exactly what you're going to say.
The ones without the frosting.
Yeah, non-frosted. That's your favorite. And they put butter on them.
Then you put butter on them.
I see you do that.
So delicious.
I see you do that all the time, and I wonder, what kind of sad childhood did she have?
Oh, they're so delicious.
She's got something against frosting. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know. They just taste better. The frosting, I think, kind of ruins them.
You could have a frosted one and just put butter on the bottom of it, and then you get the best of both worlds. Just saying. Hey, speaking of the best of both worlds, now, for those of you who love, back in the day, there was a show called American Idol, and it was like a huge deal. Well, Simon Cowell from American Idol, I don't know if you know this or not, but he was a co-creator of America's Got Talent, but he's never really been on America's Got Talent. But now he's going to be, potentially. That changes when he joins the NBC show as a judge, replacing Howard Stern.
Okay, here's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
How can it still be called America's Got Talent when none of the judges are American?
Yeah, I think that
Once he comes on, none of them will be American because Howard Stern is leaving. He's the only American.
Yeah.
Howie Mandel's Canadian.
That's true.
The Spice Chick is British. The other chick is German, and then now we've got another Brit. So why is it even called America's Got Talent?
What's it supposed to be called? Foreigners Got Talent? I don't know.
I have no idea.
All right. A man in China was watching his friend's dog. It was a Doberman. Keep that in mind. And then he lost it. That's not good.
No.
Keep that in mind. The guy was so frantic after losing the friend that he apparently offered a reward for the Doberman. Guess what the reward was?
What?
His apartment.
Oh, holy
His
cow.
apartment is worth $300,000.
Oh, my gosh.
So he's going to give somebody his apartment if they bring back his dog. His friend's dog. Not even his dog. So he's watching his friend's Doberman. It gets out. He's offering up a $300,000 apartment.
Wow.
Wouldn't it be cheaper to just buy the guy a new dog?
But you can't.
I understand. But here's the thing. How is he going to get back the dog anyway? There's no guarantee that's going to happen.
No,
That's
well,
just
he
a
doesn't have to
huge-
give up his apartment unless somebody shows up with the dog.
I don't know. New study indicates obese...
I think that's a good friend.
That is a good friend. I would like to have friends like that, and they can watch my dogs.
And if you lose the dog, just give us the apartment.
I'll just take the apartment. Let's call it even. Dog's getting old anyway. All right. A new study indicates obese mothers tend to have kids who become obese.
You think so?
Yeah, well, that's what the study says. I would disagree, but, it was in a study, so you know it's true.
You would not disagree.
Tall people tend to have children who get tall as well.
No, okay, but the obesity thing, if
Yeah.
the mother is obese, it's because of what she's eating and most
Yeah.
likely because of what she's feeding her children.
Just saying, Now there's a study, so it's been proven, Heidi. All right.
Oh, man.
Never really thought about this before, but computer dating is not just for people. It's for animals, too. Zookeepers go online to find mates for their beasts.
I could see that.
There's a database called ZIMS for Zoological Information Management Systems. The zoo in Columbia, South Carolina is one of those testing the software. And like matchmaking sites for humans, ZIMS has personality traits of their suitors. So they have little profiles for each one of the animals on there.
Why would you need a personality trait?
So if you want to have a happy monkey, then you mate him with a happy monkey. If you, one that's more of an angry monkey, well, there you go. You mate him with an angry monkey. You like naughty monkeys, go with it, just saying. I think that's what it's for. Let's move on to the strange law. In Waterville, Maine, it's illegal to blow your nose in public. 2 times this week that the strange law had to do with blowing noses. So there you go. That's your strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. We've got a special guest on the telephone line right now. We're going to visit with a wellness expert, Dr. David Magnano. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you on the program today. And I wanted to talk to you now because pretty soon we're going to be at the end of the year and people are going to be working on their, New Year's resolutions and all of that stuff. And I thought this would be a good time to get people to start thinking about it. And you have 7 simple rules for healthy eating. I thought it'd be really fun to go through those 7 simple rules and tell us a little more about how easy it is to maybe live a little bit better lifestyle.
So we try to keep it very simple. We do this in an effort to improve the way people digest their food, and this way, therefore, they get the benefits from the food. But one of the first steps is to eat only when you're hungry. And we do this through our clinics here to help patients lose weight, which is great with the New Year's resolutions in that, but to eat only when you're hungry. Now, here's what happens. When your brain sends a signal out and says that I'm hungry, we actually don't know whether we're calling for food or water.
Oh.
And one of the things that we'll do here is we get, hunger, pain, or sensation, whatever you want to call it. And the first thing we'll tell our patients that are interested in losing weight is to drink 2 big glasses of water, wait about 10 or 15 minutes. If they feel satisfied, then it wasn't really a call for food. It was just a call for water, and then they're handled. And if they're still hungry after that, well, then it's fine to go ahead and eat.
That's a good idea. So instead of diving right in and grabbing something to eat, drink 2 big glasses of water first, and then 10 minutes later, if you're still hungry, then go for the food.
Absolutely. And it works wonderful with patients that are trying to lose weight. And then the other thing, you asked sort of what we should be eating, and the more fruits and vegetables, the more raw fruits and vegetables we can get into our diet, it's so much better. because within the raw fruits and vegetables, there are enzymes. There are digestive enzymes that ultimately will take the stress off the digestive system and allow your food to be broken down and usable to the body. So it's very, very important. I know there's a lot of, information and notoriety for diabetes and cardiovascular disease and these chronic degenerative diseases, and they are, but the one thing all those conditions have in common is poor digestion. So to improve the health of the cell and the immune system and prevent some of these things, help your body to recover from some of these conditions, the first thing we have to fix is digestion. So it's a very important thing, not just for weight loss, but for the overall health and energy of the body.
Now, what's number 3 on the list of those 7 things?
Number 3 is do not eat when you are stressed. You've just had some injury or trauma, or, if you're fighting a cold or a flu, you feel like you're fighting some illness. And once again, it all comes down to digestion. Digestion requires a lot of energy in the body, and it's a heavy task for the body to do. So if you've just had a trauma, if you're fighting a cold, if you feel like you're stressed or depressed, and we tend to use comfort food and things of that nature, it actually works against us because it drains the body. And even when like we were kids in that growing up, if we felt like we were fighting a cold, our mothers would give us soup, and that's very easy to sort of digest, and soup and vegetables are good. But to not eat when you're stressed, because your body works off a priority system, and you're not going to be able to get a good digestive process going when your body is focused on illness or trauma or stress.
Again, visiting with Dr. Magnano about the 7 simple rules for eating healthy. We're up to number 4. This one sounds like it would be kind of hard to do, because I particularly, sometimes I wonder if I even chew at all. I just gobble it up. But you're supposed to chew 22 times?
Well, that is a goal. 22 is good. But I think what you'll find, which is sort of surprising and interesting, is if you just, chew normally and count the number of times, you're probably 15, 18, 20 times anyway. So there's a couple different goals with this chew 22 times. Is first off, we want people to slow down. One of the other things about, eating only when you're hungry, stopping when you're full, trying to not be distracted while you're eating so you don't eat in front of the TV. These are all sort of weight loss things that we do in our clinics here. But this chewing, when you slow it down, there's a lag between when your stomach is full and when your brain says you're full. So the more you can slow down your eating, the better. So that's one side of it, because I think we tend to all overeat. The other thing, which becomes far more important for the overall health of the body, is that chewing is the first step in the digestive system. And from the age of 21 to 25 on, we start to reduce the production of enzymes that help to break down the food. So this is one of the reasons we use this Absorbate product from Nature Sources as a way to help break down the food. It's digestive enzymes. But the chewing process gets the juices, the acids, the enzymes, all sort of going into the digestive tract. So it sort of greases the tract and prepares the tract for what's coming. So the other benefit is, of course, the more the food is broken down, the less stress it creates in the digestive system, and therefore that makes everything go a little bit smoother and easier as well.
Very nice. Number 5 on the list here says, don't eat overly cooked or overly processed foods. Why is that?
Well, as soon as we heat something, anything over 118, 119 degrees, it kills off the digestive enzymes, which is very important. And what's so interesting in nature is that virtually every food that we eat has a digestive enzyme that's in that food to help it to break down for us. So it's fantastic. It takes the stress off the digestive system and allows you to get the benefits out of the food that you're eating. But as soon as you cook it over 118 and 119 degrees, those enzymes are killed off. They die off. So this is the benefit of having raw fruits and vegetables in your diet, because it's very easy to eat salads and fruits and vegetables, things of this nature, but they also aid in digestion quite a bit.
Now, number 6, it almost sounds like we're, instead of eating food, sounds like we're going on a date or something. It says, give your food a background check. So what does that mean, to give it a background check?
Well, what's sort of interesting is, we'll get cherries from Brazil, or, we'll get fruits and vegetables from all over the world, right? And obviously, for these foods to be able to make the trip they have to be prepared or preserved in some way so they don't, just all, rot by the time they get to us. So these waxes and preservatives that they're using on the fruits and vegetables, which are traditionally very good foods to eat, but when they come from such a great distance, they have to be prepared in a fashion that they're protected, and therefore they lose a lot of the benefit, or we're increasing the amount of toxins we're getting out of that. So what I found works best is that if you can go to local, these farmer markets, or a lot of times the local grocery store will be promoting more of the local fruits and vegetables, then they're just processed and prepared and waxed much less, so they're much better for your digestive system.
Very nice. Again, visiting with Dr. David Magnano about the 7 simple rules for healthy eating, and we're up to number 7. And did we save the best for last?
Well, we sort of did, because we have found over the years that different cultures they just naturally use different spices and things of that nature. So there's a couple spices and things that we have found that are very good, helpful for digestion. Ginger is very good for somebody that has sluggish digestion. Ginger is also very good for bouts of nausea. It does improve circulation, which is really nice because cardiovascular disease is a problem throughout our country. Turmeric is very good for inflammation. It's a natural anti-inflammatory, but over the years, for many, many years, it's always been an aid in digestion, so that's very good. A lot of us like to put lemon into our water when we're having a meal. That helps to cut grease. It also helps to produce liver enzymes, which help with the digestive process. Cinnamon is really good for breaking down carbohydrates and to balance the body's blood sugar. Peppers are good to stimulate the bowel activity. And then there's other things, there's pineapple and papaya have a powerful enzyme called bromelain that will help to break down proteins, which is the most difficult thing to break down. So this is why many cases we'll have the holiday ham and we'll put some pineapple on there. Yeah. And that actually just naturally helps to break down, the protein within the ham. So those are some of the things that are good, but there's many natural things that help the digestive system.
Now, you've got information on here about enzyme supplements from nature's sources. Now, what is the benefit to utilizing an enzyme supplement?
Well, the benefit is as you turn, some research says, you hit 2021, you start to decrease the production of enzymes within our body, but definitely for all of us after the age of 25. So if we're not eating enough raw foods that naturally have the enzymes in there, we're not able to break down the food that we're eating. That puts stress on our digestive system, and that causes a whole host of problems and for other conditions as well. So the benefit of using a digestive enzyme is that it breaks down the food that we're eating. Some of us do have this gulp-and-go lifestyle. We're not always chewing our food 22 times or balancing things in the right way to aid in our digestion. So the digestive enzyme is a wonderful solution for that. We've been using enzymes for 15, 18 years with great results. And then we basically called Nature Sources, got some free samples from them, started using that. And their enzyme is called Absorbaid, and we had such a nice change and improvement with that. We just basically been using that enzyme with all of our patients, whether it's weight loss or we're handling certain conditions. One of the interesting studies, a lot of supplements are not so much verified, or there's not a lot of science behind them. But Absorbaid was used for very ill patients. It was over 100 patients. They were fed through a feeding tube, and they added the Absorbaid digestive enzyme to their diet through the feeding tube. And what they noticed for these very ill patients is it improved the absorption of the vitamins and the minerals and the nutrients by over 71%, like a Mayo Clinic study and a Roush Lab study done.
So that's a pretty big difference.
It's a huge difference, and these are people that are very, very ill. It was strategically done that way because most of us walking around, we're going to have a little bit better of an improvement on our digestion just by adding the digestive enzymes. So it's one of the first things we do for many, many conditions in our office here. and especially with patients that have anything related to digestive issues or weight loss.
So if I would like to try these enzyme supplements, how do I go about finding that? Is that something I find in a store, or where do I get it?
Well, the best way to do it is to call Nature's Sources at 1-800-827-7656, and they'll send you some samples. And this is not the type of supplement that you have to take for, weeks or months to find out if it's working. You'll know within a day or two whether this is aiding and improving your digestion. And then as far as the 7 steps and, some of the different herbs that aid and help in digestion and that information, it's all on the website at naturesources.com. And Nature Sources has the 2 S's in the center.
So naturesources.com.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you again for taking some time to visit with us today. That was fascinating. And I of the 7 things that we talked about, I think I'm doing almost all of them wrong right now. So I need some help.
Well, the simple thing is to only change one thing per week. Just work on changing the one thing per week, and in a matter of weeks, you got all these new benefits going on. So,
well, thank you again for taking the time to visit with us, Dr. Magnano. I appreciate it a bunch.
Okay, thank you very much.
And again, Dr. David Magnano, and he is one of the nation's top chiropractic physicians and a health educator. And if you'd like to know more, I'm going to give you that website again, naturesources.com. Thanks for joining us on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by carsforsale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at carsforsale.com.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
It's Friday, November the 6th. Today is National Nachos Day. Oh, man, that sounds good. We should have nachos in here right now. What do you think?
We should. I agree.
What is your favorite topping on nachos? Is there anything that you just say, hey, you can't have nachos without blank? What is it?
I love the little minced green onions.
So chives? Is that what that is?
Chives, yes.
See, I for one,
Yum.
To me, the perfect nachos have nothing but cheese. Just nachos and cheese.
And you got to have tons of lettuce.
Don't need all that. National Nacho Day, celebrate. And it's Saxophone Day today. So get out and blow your saxophone. That's an instrument that I always thought would be a fun instrument to learn, a saxophone. I mean, it's just a really interesting instrument. I'm trying to think of the right way to what I want to say. Sophisticated sounding. So,
really?
The saxophone. I mean, every song that there's a
every
saxophone.
Instrument you've been like, I'd really like to learn how to play that.
I wish I knew how to play something. But I'm saying, every time you hear a saxophone song, it's usually a pretty, sophisticated sounding song. It's not like you hear dueling saxophones. I've never heard that once.
It's because you can't find 2 people in the same community that know how to play the saxophone.
Oh, boy. We're moving on. That's going to do it on this Friday, the 6th day of November.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
A 9-year-old takes on the legal system and wins so he can have some ice cream. Heidi?
Okay.
If you want something bad enough, all you need to do is work for it, right? Isn't that what Mom and Dad said? Well, that's what this 9-year-old, Josh Lipshaw, decided to do. He was upset that that it was against the law for ice cream vans to come through his neighborhood. So he did a little legal work to remedy the problem, and now ice cream vans, they can take the roads of Detroit, the suburb that he lives in, for the first time in 50 years, thanks to a 9-year-old boy. Josh collected 165 names on a petition. He wrote a letter to the township urging officials to overturn the ban. The rule has now been scrapped. The Board of Trustees voted unanimously to repeal the Michigan Township ban on, here's what they had, a ban on frozen confection vendors after hearing from this 9-year-old boy. At an earlier meeting, Josh told them, this is an old law. So I think you should look at it again. I bet many of you enjoyed ice cream trucks when you were kids. After their decision to allow vans again, he drew applause from 20 children that were in the audience when he said, I want to thank the Township Board for listening to a 9-year-old and his friends. You took us seriously, and not everybody would do that. How cool is that? Josh Lipshaw, 9 years old, brought ice cream back to the suburbs of Detroit.
Why would it have been illegal for an ice cream truck to drive through any community?
I don't know, but they had banned frozen confection vendors is what their ban was on.
I don't get it.
I don't know either,
Maybe
but-
that's why the people in Detroit are so angry.
Yeah, I would be too if I couldn't have ice cream. Come on. Give me some
So
ice cream.
angry and violent.
Give
They
me
need to
ice cream and
chill
we'll
out.
quit burning down buildings. I'm just saying. All right, coming up, I've got a story about a guy whose bark might be worse than his bite. I don't know. We'll find out in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
It's not known if Jeffrey Williams' bark is worse than his bite, considering his bark got him arrested. The 25-year-old man, again, a man, got arrested for barking, from Erie, Pennsylvania, was recently convicted for barking at dogs. The dogs were in parked cars. Williams spotted dogs sitting in cars and decided to start barking at them. He soon worked the dogs into a frenzy despite being told to stop. Hey, cut it out. He kept doing it. These just weren't any dogs in any car. They were police dogs.
Oh.
In parked police cruisers.
Boy.
He kept barking at him, even though the patrolman, Lester Fetterman, told him to stop. Williams was convicted of harassing police dogs. He was sentenced to 90 days probation. You know what he should have been sentenced to? He should have been sentenced to cleaning up, like in dog kennels, like shoveling dog stuff. That's what his sentence should have been, since he liked barking so much.
I agree.
So, but they, maybe they don't want him around dogs. I don't know. Why would you do that? A sane person doesn't do that.
He's probably not sane.
Apparently not. All right, bringing carpet and candy together, selling for millions of dollars? What? We'll tell you all about that here in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
Candy doesn't cost that much, does it? It's expensive, but it's not really
Candy's
expensive.
expensive.
Can you imagine paying $2,000 a pound, though? That's expensive. A carpet, and I use the word carpet very loosely because it was made of 325 pounds of blue cellophane-wrapped candy, sold for $666,000 at Christie's auction. It was actually a conceptual piece of art created by Felix Gonzalez Torres. It was purchased by an anonymous bidder who apparently has too much money, which got the candy carpet at a pretty good price, considering it was estimated to go for as much as $8.5 million. Why would you estimate it to go for $8.5 million? What is so special about Felix Gonzalez Torres and his candy art? It's a carpet of candy. This is basically he just sprinkled out his candy from Halloween on the floor. So there you go. I'm going to glue that together and make that into art. How is that possible?
Well, you can't walk on it because if it's those wrapped, it's hard candies, so you can't
what would you
use
do with
it.
this?
I don't know. It's going to look beautiful in Willy Wonka's house, I'm sure.
Oh, I know. $666,000 is a lot of money.
That is a lot of money
for a bunch of candy. Coming up here in a bit, we've got a guy and his brother. You know what? Actually, I'm going to do this. I'll tell you this. A couple of different stories about unique proposals. We're going to end the program with a couple of different stories. We got the first one on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
As I was searching for my good news, and I know we're not getting to that yet, but I found a couple of different stories, both about proposals. So we got one that's about good news on the way, and we got this one. This one didn't make the good news cut. Although it did definitely make this cut. Clifford Cohen's brother, Rick, leased a twin-engine plane to fly his girlfriend up in the clouds to propose marriage. Now, his brother Clifford helped him write a message on the ground that could be seen up in the air. Now, how do you do that? Well, I have an idea. How about we use 70 bales of hay to spell out, "Marry me, Ruth"? That was plan A, just to have the friend, drive to the field, shine their headlights.
Very sweet.
Shine the headlights on the hay, illuminating the message. Well, the friends didn't show, so his brother said, "Hey, I got an idea. I'll just light the bales on fire." His girlfriend saw the message, accepted the proposal, but the blaze grew out of control. Firefighters and police at the scene Rick was arrested. That was a bad idea, Rick.
Oh, my goodness.
Clifford was in trouble, too. They're all in trouble. Everybody involved in that.
That's a bad idea.
It was a neat idea, but what you should have done, guys, do it during the day so you don't have to light the bales of hay on fire. I mean,
man.
And if you want to talk about proposals and airplanes and all of that, I got another story. I know what you're thinking. How could you possibly have two? No, I have another story to share, and it's coming up as our good news because I think it's a really cool story. It's good for at least some people involved, not so good for many, many, many others. But we're going to tell you all about that coming up here in a bit. Thank you again for joining us on the John and Heidi Show on this Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
I search high and low, try to find something positive to share on this program as we wrap things up. And this was one that I just thought was such a neat story. If you're looking for a unique way to propose, maybe this is a good idea. And then again, maybe it's not. A man proposed to thousands of women all at the same time, accidentally. A man in Turkey ended up proposing to a whole bunch of women in a city there in Turkey when he dropped proposals, 100,000 leaflet proposals from an airplane. But unfortunately for the single women who were interested, the proposals were all meant for one special woman. This is why I think it's a neat story. This serviceman met an unidentified young lady in an internet chat room and was looking for a unique way to propose to her. The airborne proposals, which read, "Will you lighten my darkness? Tell me you will marry me," were accompanied by 5,000 roses and bags of confetti.
Whoa.
It is not known whether she said yes or no, but the prospective groom's bank account is about $15,000 lighter after paying for this unconventional proposal. So he proposed to hundreds of thousands.
Hopefully he didn't drop the ring out of the plane, too.
If you find the ring, you're the one. But I think that's really cool that he met this woman from this town, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to hire an airplane to fly over and dump out $15,000 worth of
insane.
stuff. So there you go. To each their own. Would you say, if you were that young lady and you found this guy that you'd been chatting online, would you say that was a romantic proposal?
Well,
or would you say that was a really stupid proposal?
It might be extremely creepy if they had never met. I mean, if they've never met in person.
Yeah.
And if he didn't even know where she was well enough to be able to deliver something directly to her, he had to fly over her town and drop something that blanketed the whole town.
Hadn't thought about it that way. Maybe this shouldn't have been a good news story. Coming at it from that angle. I mean, somebody did this to my daughter. All of a sudden, thinking about this a little differently now. Kind of feel as though I ripped you off on a good news story today. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. That's what I use to have this beautiful, smooth little cheek over here and this scruffy little beard on the bottom. I have a goatee. I have to shave around that. But if you would like to shave and shave like a rock star and never have to go to the store for razors ever, ever, ever again, go to dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now your bonus break. Scientists in Australia and the Netherlands. I was going to say Neverland. No, that's not right. No, that's where Peter Pan lives, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Neverland. No, this is the Netherlands. They claim they've invented a diet that cuts your probability of heart disease by 78%.
Oh!
Adds 4.8 years to a woman's life and 6 years to a man's life. Here's what you have to eat. 4 servings of fish each week. I'm out.
Oh, I like fish. I could do that. 4 servings of fish a week. That's.
We're not done. Daily servings of 400 milligrams of fruit and vegetables. I'm out.
Okay. We could do that.
68 grams of almonds. I'm in. 2.7 grams of garlic. I'm back out.
Oh, you love garlic.
150 milliliters of red wine.
I could do this diet.
And 100 grams of dark chocolate.
I could definitely do this diet.
So you're saying I should save that info?
Yes.
Should I forward this to you?
Yes, please do. I could definitely do this.
I'll even go a step further, folks. I'll put this on our Facebook page. How's that sound? So
I
that
could
way
totally do this
people
diet.
listening are going, hey, I didn't write all that stuff down. Don't worry. Hey, Go to facebook.com/John
The other
and Heidi Show.
So 4 nights you have to have fish. The other 3 nights, can you still have McDonald's? It doesn't say what to do with the rest of the week.
It just says 4. That's everything you get to eat for the week. You have 4 servings of fish. They need to last you a whole week. I think so. Otherwise, they'd probably have more stuff in there, wouldn't they?
That can't be it. Because 4 servings it's not even 1 meal a day.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. If you do that, you're going to live longer. You'll be hungry while you're starving, while you're living longer. Like, man, somebody shoot me, please. So hungry, and I smell like fish and chocolate. All right, James Hart can't win when it comes to robbing mini-marts, and he probably wouldn't win a costume contest either. He planned to hold up a local mini-mart where he was a regular customer, so he needed a good disguise. Did he put on a Halloween mask? No. Did he put pantyhose over his head? No. Ski mask? Nah. For reasons known only to James, he decided shaving cream would do the trick. His face was covered in foamy shaving cream. He walked in and demanded money. Of course, the manager immediately recognized him, said James made a hasty exit only to be apprehended by the police a short time later. This guy's not the smartest guy, is he?
No.
Why would you put shaving cream on your face?
I don't know. He must have had it handy and figured he needed some cash.
I need a disguise. What do I have? Well, I've got shaving cream. Let's use that. All right. 4 men robbed a Chinese food delivery driver, striking him over the head with a package of prawn crackers, getting away with a large order of Chinese takeout. Police were called. Upon arrival, they found the trail was still warm. It was hot, in fact. Seems one of the bags of food sprung a leak, leaving a trail of curry sauce that led them directly to the culprit's flat nearby. A flat is like an apartment, by the way. They were arrested before they had a chance to enjoy their fortune cookies. So, there you go. Why would you rob a
Why would you steal that? Yeah.
All right, 7.
You don't even know if that's the order you wanted. You're going to rob a delivery guy, just a random delivery guy?
I couldn't, because most of the stuff that they'd deliver I probably wouldn't like.
No, you wouldn't.
I was a little speechless there for a second. Stephen Tarver was spotted by local police officers acting suspiciously near the back of a Walmart. When he saw the police, he took off in the direction of a wooded area. As it turns out, the wooded area was the Columbia Country Golf Course. He burst out of the woods and ran up to a cart full of golfers, asking if he could borrow their vehicle. Bad idea. They were all police officers that were off duty, attending the Officers Benevolent Fund golf tournament.
Wow.
They were more than happy to detain him until the on-duty police officers arrived. Bad luck, dude, right there. After making off with DVD players, computers, radios, and TVs and other electronic gear, 3 burglars that struck a Memphis, Tennessee home realized that a parrot in the home had heard them use the nickname JJ for one of the accomplices. And he kept repeating, JJ, JJ. Afraid the bird would tell on them, they went back for the bird. As they were loading it into the getaway car, police arrived. The chase ended a few blocks away when the men crashed their car. The light green parrot named Marshmallow flew away when its cage broke open in the crash. Owner Felicia Cobb and her children have not seen their pet since, so they're looking for their bird. But they went back to steal the bird because they thought maybe the bird could, tell them who robbed the place.
How did the bird know him?
Oh, somebody during the robbery, somebody used his name.
Oh,
they said, "Hey, come
name.
on, JJ," and then the bird just going, JJ.
Okay, I see. Yeah. I was like, is he a family friend or something?
I don't know. And our final story. Yeah, I had a couple extras here today, so you guys get them all. Why not? It's Friday. I mean,
sure.
Come on. I don't want to hold this stuff till next week. A Texas woman tried stealing a chicken from the meat counter of a grocery store. This is a funny story. She placed the chicken inside her jumpsuit.
Oh, my goodness.
She walked out of the store. Moments later, police approached her and said, "Hey, you got a chicken in your shirt there. Where'd that come from?" Surprised that she'd been caught, she made up a story that, the chicken fell from the sky and it landed in my arms. And she said, I put him in my shirt because I didn't want to be blamed for stealing it.
Oh, yeah.
And she was insisting that was the story until the theft, that was the story, that she didn't steal it. She wouldn't admit to her theft charge until they finally showed her the security video that actually got her caught. That's why they were coming. And it shows her taking the chicken and sliding it into her shirt.
Wow.
So that fell from the sky, huh?
Wow.
You certainly did catch it. So there you go. That happened in Texas. That's going to do it for your bonus break. Thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate you guys joining us on the John and Heidi Show. This bonus break is a fun place for us to kind of squeeze in all the extra stuff. And the folks at Dollar Shave Club, when you order razors from them, they squeeze in extra stuff in your order quite often, too. I've gotten some really cool things. They've got some little shaving cream. It's actually called shave butter. And I did like that stuff. I should order some of that shave butter. And they've got a thing if you like cut yourself shaving. They got a little serum that helps you with that. A lot of different extras you can see on their website. And sign up for their razor service at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.